I love hitting things. Michael McLean, nobullbook.com, on a gorgeous and windy Sunday morning at the lake. Just going to hook up Clifford here and head on my extra long Sunday ruck. I got my 25-pound rucking vest on. I just bought this on Amazon. If you're looking to add some weight to your walks, I highly recommend 10, 15, 25-pound rucking vest. Krista has a 20-pound vest. My daughter Emery even has a 10-pound rucking. Increases your workload, increases your calorie burn, makes it harder, makes you tougher, makes you better. So I'm always looking for those pro tips to make things harder and consequently make me better. So I was sitting down journaling the other day after reading for a little bit, and I was thinking about how much I enjoy hitting things. Since I was a little guy, a little boy, I have loved being involved in sports or activities where I was physically hitting something. And it never dawned on me till the other day when I was reading this book on human psychology that the reason why is because I'm hardwired for that type of thing, and you're hardwired for that type of thing. I remember I was at a coaching clinic years ago, and one of the NHL coaches was talking about how we're not designed to skate. Skating is not a natural motion. Pushing our legs out with power is not a natural motion, and this is why a lot of young hockey players now have so many issues with hip problems, and why so many professional hockey players have hip replacements now at the age of 40, 45, like just crazy stuff. And that line came up again, how we were originally designed to run, to jump, to lift, to do all these things with our bodies, swing things, this kind of thing. So it's no wonder that one of the great releases, one of the great stress and frustration releases we have, if we execute it, is hitting things. And admittedly, this is something that I haven't done for I don't know why, doesn't matter why, but for the last few years, especially, after I sold my main company, McLean Insurance, I just haven't been as active physically in hitting things, sports where you hit things, as I should be, because I love it so much. It's a mental release for me. It's a way to get rid of frustration and stress and any pressure that I'm feeling. And it's just a great way to feel alive. It's a great way to feel alive. So I've started this up a week ago, and I booked it. I booked it right into my calendar so that it happens every week. It's just another way of improving, that 0.001%. So on Sunday nights, which will be this evening, at 7 o'clock, we booked it into our calendar. I play tennis every Sunday night for an hour, sometimes about 90 minutes, with my friend Jeff Dean, who lives around the corner on the lake here. And last Sunday, we played for the first time, and we just went out there for an hour and 25 minutes and just pounded balls. I mean, he likes to hit the ball hard. I always hit a ball hard. I'm from the old Agassiz school where you, when I was a little guy, hit it as hard as you can and learn to keep it in over the next decade. That was my philosophy as well as a young player. So I love to go out and sweat. I love to go out and we talk life, we talk business, we talk family. But most importantly, we just crush balls. We just go out and crush about 200 balls. And I came home last Sunday night and I felt so much, I felt very different than I would on a normal Sunday night. Come on, Clifford, let's do some road work, buddy. On these really extreme hot days, sometimes he's been coming and sometimes he hasn't. We'll see whether my pal makes it on his walk today or not. Emery's been up since 5 to 6 this morning. Smell you later. I'll see you when you're better dressed. Come on. We have that routine every morning. Those are her two favorite lines. And then I say something like, "Oh, come on," like I'm offended or something. She just loves it. Just loves it. She's a routine-driven kid, just like her pop. So, yeah, on Sunday night, I came back and I said to Krista, I said, "Man, I feel so much better. I had one of my best sleeps last Sunday of the year." And I think it's because not only did I work out, I train every day. I got a 25-pound rucking vest on my back right now when I'm talking to you. I'm going to be walking for the next 90 minutes. It's not about movement for me, but it's about physical movement. And this isn't about weightlifting or Hindu squats or Hindu push-ups. That stuff is fine. But what I really forgot, and I'm now starting to do again, is hitting things. So what I've decided, besides tennis, I always had one of those large 200-pound heavy bags. You know, the boxing bags, the fighting bags. In my basement, I always had one of those hanging. And for years, I had a speed bag as well. I had those, the Rocky speed bag. I had a heavy bag and one of those speed bags ever since I watched Rocky 2 in high school. And I was like hooked. And I didn't know it at the time, but going down there a few times a week and just pounding on that heavy bag or pounding on that speed bag, it took me 6 months of hand-eye coordination when I was a teenager to get that speed bag to work. Like, I had no idea. I don't know if you've ever hit a speed bag before, but to get the timing and to get the speed and the power working together, that's massive hand-eye coordination. The first time I hit it, it hit me back in the face. So this is a big one, hand-eye coordination, and you get a really good sweat on, and it wakes you up. And then, of course, the heavy bag is just a massive cardio workout, but it's also a mental workout. The other thing that I'm going to start doing and put on my calendar is I'm going to start going to the driving range 1 time per week. No different than I get a massage once a week. No different than hitting tennis balls with Jeff once a week. One of the things I'm going to carve out some time for, I drive by it about 5 times a week, is the driving range, the golf driving range. So I don't have time, nor do I want to play golf right now. It's just not something that I want to invest my time in with Emery at 9 years old and us living on the water here and going back and forth between Canada and the United States. But I love going to the driving range. And I love getting a couple of baskets of balls, and hitting 75 or 100 balls. And I love all parts of that. I love the putting. I love the pitching. I love working on my mid game. I love, driver. Everybody loves the driver, right? But I just love hitting golf balls. I love the crack. I love the feel of a good hit. I love, the sound of a good hit. And once again, this is psychological stuff. The magic of hitting things. I remember when we used to go to Mexico. We went to Mexico several times. And Krista and I got married in the Dominican with all of our families flew for the week. And we got married in the Dominican in the DR 11 years ago. And one of the things, my brother was there with his 3 young kids. He's got 2 boys. And the first place they were there for like 6 straight days, was this batting cage on the resort. And they were in that batting cage all day, not all day, but every day they were in that batting cage. And they were driving balls, he set it to 50 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour, whatever it was. And they were in there and they were just cracking balls all day, or most days, every day. And I went in there and I went in there 3 times that week. And it was one of the most exhilarating experiences I had on the trip. And I don't know, I forgot to be a kid. I forgot, or I stopped being a kid, or I stopped being an athlete who hits things, and now it's back. And I stumbled upon it reading and journaling last week. So is there things that you can hit in your life to make yourself a better entrepreneur, a better businessman, a better husband? What about a better father? Are there things that you can go hit with your daughter, go hit with your son, go hit with your grandkids, where they get the benefit of understanding how amazing sports can be? You don't have to be good at sport. You don't have to be good at it. You just have to be at it. You just have to do it. It's everything that sports gives you. It's not being necessarily great at it. And is there time that you and your wife, can you go to the driving range? Can you and your kids, go to the batting cage? Can, there's so many things. And so it's just something that I'm introducing into my world. We're always building our worlds. We're always building our kingdoms. And it's not every day that I find something that allows me to change my state, to reduce stress, to reduce anxiety, to give me more peace of mind. And when I'm done the activity, not only do I love it, absolutely love it, but then after the activity, there's that hangover where I'm like, man, I feel so great. Today I'm going out for a skate at 11:30. My former general manager for my championship Barclay team in 19, Bill White, has been hired. He hasn't been doing anything since I sold the team in 2020. He has been hired by a local junior team, and he is the general manager and the head coach. So Billy's first free agent camp is today at 11:30, and he wants to sit up in the stadium seats and watch, who he's got on the ice. So who does he call to run practice? MJM, yours relentless. And I couldn't be happier on a Sunday to get out there. I haven't ran a practice since last winter when we moved to Naples. I love being on the ice with teenage kids. These kids are aged 17 to 20. We'll get out there and we'll get after it for 90 minutes. And when they're resting, we'll talk about winning. We'll talk about goal getting. We'll talk about pride. We'll talk about the details. We'll talk about the rule of 10,000 hours. And I think that the first workout of the year, no matter what your team or in business or sports, is critical. You set the tone. You set the tone for the rest of your entire season. So I'm really grateful that Bill invited me in today to run his first free agent practice. And it's probably the only time I'll be on the ice this summer. And it'll be a lot of fun. I love getting out there with the young men and getting after it and challenging them and making them work harder than they ever thought they could work, making them push through, teaching them not just hockey, but teaching them life lessons and just getting them to raise their personal standard. Man, coach, I didn't think I could do that. Man, coach, I've never worked that hard in my life. That's how we build self-image. That's how we build self-esteem, challenging people around us and ourselves to do things that we didn't think we could do. And then when we do them, we're like, wow. Great coaches build self-esteem. Great teachers build self-esteem in our children. Great mentors build self-esteem. They demand, challenge, and make people do things they didn't even think were possible. And then when you achieve them, that amazing feeling. So that's kind of a way of getting out there today and hitting some things. I'll get out there and shoot some pucks and shoot some pucks on the goalies and get a sweat on and have some fun. So big day ahead. Speaking of big days ahead, I'm just finishing up editing my August newsletter. The link is below, badassletter.com. You're going to be left on the sidelines if you don't sign up today at badassletter.com. It's my brand new 12-page paper and ink newsletter. I'll FedEx it to you. It's $3.23 per day. If my aha ideas, my marketing, my marriage, business, family advice, community service advice, if it's not worth a cup of coffee every day, you're on the wrong email and video list. So you can sign up for that. I'll send you one of these $60 badass training shirts. It says "Be Relentless" on the back. I'll send you a copy of my old insurance book, which is basically the blueprint for every business I've ever run. It's the blueprint that's allowed me to sell $155 million in products and services over the last 25 years. So it's a nice blueprint for any business that you're in. And we got a nice online forum, a locker room set up, not through Facebook or anything like that. It's our own forum that Marc Andre has set up where we can ask questions. I'm going to post special stuff, unique videos, and nobody will have access in that forum except for newsletter subscribers, plus a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm going to do the odd webinar from time to time, maybe one every 4 months, every 6 months, whatever. Only subscribers will be allowed to participate and watch these webinars. So there's a lot of value there if you're an investor. If you're a scarcity mindset, it's certainly not for you. So you're one or the other, right? You're either a guy who invests in your family, in your kids, in your marriage, in your business, in your marketing, or you're not. But regardless, I'm going to start hitting more things. Hitting things is crazy, but it makes me a better father, a better husband. I've always been an intense person, and my daughter says, I was born impatient and I'll die impatient. I agree with her. I'm the same. I like things done yesterday. I like things done perfectly well. I like massive action. I like to chase that next championship at all times. So for me, hitting things is a great release. And it's that back to childhood thing, connection that I didn't even know about. And now I do. From reading that in a journal, I was like, man, this stuff makes me feel like a kid again. Getting out there and hitting tennis balls and hitting golf balls and hitting the heavy bag and hitting the speed bag. Makes me feel like a kid again. And that's always a good thing. That's it. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that can change your life. Get hitting things. Be relentless.